There's a moment that happens more often than people expect. Not dramatic, not sudden, just a quiet realization. You look up and it's already later than you thought. A week goes by, then a month, then somehow a year. Something you remember as recent turns out to be much further back than it felt. You check a date and it doesn't line up with your sense of time. You think about a conversation, an event, a phase of life, and realize it didn't happen when you thought it did. And the reaction is usually the same. Wait, wasn't that just a few months ago? How is it already this time of year? Nothing unusual happened. No major disruption. No clear reason for it. And still, it feels like time is moving faster. Not in a way you can measure, but in a way you can feel. Days don't necessarily feel shorter, but they feel less distinct. And over time, that distinction matters. Because when days start to blur together, time doesn't feel like it's passing in a steady way. It feels like it's slipping. Millennials have developed a habit of saying the same thing, that time feels compressed, that years feel shorter, that everything seems to move faster than it used to. And from the outside, the explanation usually feels simple. That's just what happens when you get older. Time speeds up with age. It's normal. And there is some truth to that. But that explanation doesn't fully capture how fast it feels now, or why it feels like it changed. Because what this is not just aging, it's a shift in how time is experienced, and more specifically, a shift in how life is structured around it. Force 1. Routine compression. Days start to look more similar. Work, home, tasks, errands, repeat. The structure is consistent, but the variation is lower. And over time, that sameness has an effect, because the brain doesn't measure time evenly. It measures it based on change. When something is new, it takes up more space in memory. When something is repetitive, it compresses. This is why earlier parts of life feel longer in hindsight. A school year feels distinct. A summer feels like its own chapter. There are clear boundaries, clear transitions, clear differences between one phase and the next. But adult life doesn't always have that structure. Weeks blend together. Months pass without a clear dividing line. So even if a day felt long while you were in it, it feels shorter when you look back, because there's less to distinguish it. And when enough days start to look the same, entire stretches of time collapse into each other. Force 2. Constant stimulation. There's always something happening: a message, a notification, a video, a post, a feed that never ends. The mind is constantly receiving input, scrolling, reacting, processing, moving on. And while that creates the feeling of activity, it doesn't always create lasting memory, because the brain isn't designed to deeply encode everything it sees. So a lot of what fills the day never fully registers. It passes through quickly, and when experience isn't fully registered, it doesn't expand time. It compresses it. Force 3. Reduced memory anchors. Earlier in life, time is easier to measure. School years, grades, semesters, clear beginnings and clear endings. Each phase is defined. Each stage has a boundary. But adult life is different. There are fewer built in markers, fewer clear transitions. Work continues. Life continues. Days blend into each other more easily. And without those markers, time becomes harder to segment. It stops feeling like chapters and starts feeling like one continuous stretch. And when there are fewer distinct moments to look back on, it becomes harder to feel how much time has actually passed. Force 4. Limited mental bandwidth. This connects directly to something else: burnout. When mental energy is low, attention becomes shallower. You move through the day, but not fully present within it. You're thinking ahead, catching up, switching between tasks, experiencing things, but not fully absorbing them. And that matters, because time feels longer when it is experienced deeply, when attention is focused, when moments are fully processed. But when attention is fragmented, time isn't experienced in full. It's skimmed. And what gets skimmed doesn't stretch. And this is where things start to connect. Burnout feeds into this. Overthinking feeds into this. Keeping options open feeds into this. Because all of them reduce clarity, reduce presence, reduce how fully a moment is experienced. And when moments aren't experienced fully, they don't leave a strong imprint. So when you look back, there's less there. And when there's less there, time feels shorter. So, this isn't just about getting older, it's about moving through time differently. Less novelty, less structure, less separation between one moment and the next, more input, more repetition, more fragmentation. And all of that changes the experience. So, when it feels like time is moving faster, it's not necessarily that time itself has changed, it's that fewer moments stand out, fewer experiences slow things down, fewer parts of life feel distinct from each other. And when everything starts to blend together, time doesn't stretch, it compresses.